Your craft is just a hobby. I want to start this video off with telling you about this small conversation that I had with someone who was telling me that it was a she actually, I think. She has like this artwork part separate from her work, and it's because her work is also artistically inclined. And I was so confused, like, especially because they are related, like artwork with a business that is artistically inclined. Why are they separate and they don't go together? Oh, because one is work and one it is my choice to keep it as a pleasure moment or something like that. Like, that was fucking whoa, what huge bullshit that is. And I actually do the same thing. She was doing like branding and her artwork is separate and it's her choice. Like, that's where you want to focus. It's her choice. So she thinks that that is her choice when it's actually not. It's obviously she is settling because in her job, in her work, she does not have enough freedom in her creativity because she has no boundaries probably, or her standards are very low, and thus she needs the side hobby of artwork and drawing or whatever in order to have the freedom of drawing what she wants. Can you see how that's a problem? Because she actually needs that in order to compensate from her frustration of work. Basically, that's what she's doing. It's hilarious, actually, when you figure out how people are lying to themselves in thinking they are in control of their decisions when they are just operating on a defective Windows kind of thing platform. So why are you keeping your passion as a hobby? Let me tell you why. Because you do not own your talent. You do not value it. You are afraid. You are everything that an artist is. Everything that I said in all the previous videos of all the fears that an artist has, of the child mentality, where they need someone to save them. They don't have the security of doing that because they need another job to actually give them money, because they cannot make money out of being an artist because artists are starving people, and so on and so forth. Like, all those things, all those fears keep you from actually doing something. Just saying that you want to keep it just as a, like, this fear of that people have. And I can tell you, I've been through this, where I had artwork as a hobby, and then I started making it my job. That was how I was earning my money. And I realized that I didn't like drawing that much as I did before when it was a hobby. That's the fucking fear, that you are gonna turn your hobby into work and you're not gonna enjoy it. But here's the huge problem. I had no fucking boundaries and I had no standards for myself in my work. And I was taking on shitty clients and shitty projects, and not in the fact that they are necessarily shitty, it just was incompatible with me, but I didn't know, and if I didn't tell it, they didn't know, so it was a fucking catastrophe, and it was sucking me dry of energy instead of making me enthusiastic of what I was doing and to actually put my creative juices flowing, right? It had the opposite effect, and it made me not want to draw anymore because I was drawing for work, and that's enough. I don't want to draw anymore. For me, it was actually, I didn't want to draw at all. Other people want to draw separate. That's their guilty pleasure, whatever. But it doesn't have to be like, that's not the truth of what's happening. That comes from a dysfunction, and that comes out of fear. Because any normal person, if you had no limitations whatsoever, if you want to do something, you're just gonna do it, and you're gonna tell everyone that you do this amazing thing, whatever your craft may be, and help people, like make it your life, your actual job. I don't want to say job because job sounds boring, because it is, but an actual career. Make a business out of it. Make more of it than just a hobby. But you need to value and own it first. In order to be able to do that. But that's, without limitation, you would do that. If you thought that, what are your excuses? Like, think about this. What are your excuses of not leveling up? Because we were talking in the previous video about leveling up from hobby to an actual career in what you love to do in your craft. You are afraid that you are not going to make enough money. Why are you not going to make enough money? Because you are not good enough, and you are just starting out and you don't know what you're doing. Here's the thing. When trusting yourself, and this is what I teach you, this is exactly what I teach you, to start trusting yourself, even in situations where you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you are gonna be fucking awesome. That's magic. And that's real confidence. That's what I help you build, real confidence. The confidence, this should be for another video, the confidence that people call confidence is actually being used to a process that makes you be in kind of like a machine, basically. So you're learning this process and you're so familiar with it that it's very easy for you. But that's not confidence. Because when you're put in a new situation, you're gonna be like fucking blocked because you don't know what you're doing. Because if you're not doing it your way, you are blocked. And that is actually your true level of confidence when you do something that's new. The other one is not confidence, it's just getting used to something and becoming a machine, basically. So real confidence is when you have the confidence, the knowingness that everything you do is exactly what you're supposed to be doing, without logically and rationally knowing what the fuck you're doing. That's crazy, but that is possible. And if you want that, if you feel that this is your truth and you are understanding what I'm saying here, come and join me in my free Facebook group, Talent is Your Mistress. I'm soon going to be starting a challenge. It's going to be fucking epic. I think it's about chaos artistry. I think this is what I'm going to call it. It's going to be epic. And if you are really committed to doing this, work with me one-on-one. For that, contact me in private. It's amazing, guys. Real confidence. What it can do. So what were we talking about? About craft and hobby. Don't settle anymore for keeping your talents just for yourself. Because you are not, it's not your responsibility to share them with the world, but because you don't own what you can do right now, you cannot expand your talent. Practicing in a room all by yourself until you think you're prepared enough to go and show it to the world, that's fucking bullshit all the way. Energetically, it's not happening. It's gonna be a disaster. I'm telling you. That's not the way of magic. Okay, guys. Bye.